Success doesn't happen overnight, but transformation does. Have you ever wondered why a lot of people just succeed and you look at their businesses, they're doing so well. You look at their lives, it looks like it's transforming so well. You see people start from somewhere and then the next year they're driving the best of cars and you're admiring them, wondering, could this be me someday?
So in my industry, consistency is a word that we use a lot, and it's a very powerful word, and it's not used for nothing. Someone said it to me. It was like, how good is it? How good would it feel to start your day with a win or some kind of productivity? And I was like, people complicate everything. They complicate the idea, the concept of consistency, rather than doing that, simplify it.
Yeah.
Just do a very simple thing. Because that's how wins work. Wins have compounding interest. You have a small win. It doesn't matter the size of the win.
Yeah.
The win's a win. You win one thing and then it gives you the boost to win the next, the next, the next.
So what happens to the days where you don't feel like it?
It makes sense now why there are people that would never commit to anything
Until
in the
they say,
future without saying,
by the grace of God. Yeah.
it's better for you to actually make a wrong decision than to make no decision.
Yeah.
Because you fail forward, everything that seems a bad decision, you get a lesson from it.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you're blessed, as opposed to feeling like, oh, I made the wrong decision. I'm as the leader, I shouldn't make any. You will make this.
Yeah.
Once you're aware of that, and once you're aware of the possibility of being arrogant by assuming that you have tomorrow to do this, it just keeps you committed to being consistent.
Success doesn't happen overnight, but transformation does. Have you ever wondered why a lot of people just succeed and you look at their businesses, they're doing so well. You look at their lives, it looks like it's transforming so well. You see people start from somewhere and then the next year they're driving the best of cars and you're admiring them, wondering, could this be me someday? Today, we are going to be talking about the power of consistency and how it can transform your life. If you're just joining us, this is Minding Your Tomorrow, and my name is Chioma Ezani. Minding Your Tomorrow is a platform where we talk about everything that helps you attain success. And you know how we do it on the show? Sometimes we don't do it alone. We bring in a guest to help us drive this home. And today is one of those days we are having somebody who is very close to my heart. You say everybody's close to my heart. Yes, he is close to my heart. He's a fitness instructor, and that is no other person than Mayo. Mayo owns Body Rock Studio, is a fitness studio, and he has been inspiring me for years. In fact, in Mayo's gym, don't look at what you're seeing now, I relapsed. But in Mayo's gym, under Mayo's care, I lost 32 kg that I gained back, and I know he's disappointed somehow. But yes, he guided me with my healthy habits and my fitness goal, and I lost 32 kg at the time. And that is somebody who I'm having here with me today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, Mayo.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yes, this is MYT Studio, and we are delighted to see you here.
I love it. I love what you've done with it. I'm super honored to be here. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mayo. So, Mayo, let's dive right in. Consistency.
You hear that word a lot, especially in my industry, the fitness industry. So in my industry, consistency is a word that we use a lot, and it's a very powerful word, and it's not used for nothing.
Yeah.
And all the people out there listening, what is consistency? It's just doing something over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it's frequency of doing something.
Yeah.
Essentially. Without pause, irrespective of what's going on.
Yeah.
Just staying and sticking to something.
Wow, Mayo, what is the small, consistent thing that has, stood out to you in your journey that has led you to where you are today?
I'll say it and it'll sound very silly and very funny. But the one thing that I do and I stay consistent with is making my bed in the morning.
Wow.
And I'll go further.
Okay.
Someone said it to me, it was like, how good would it feel to start your day with a win or with some kind of productivity. And I was like, people complicate everything. They complicate the idea, the concept of consistency, rather than doing that, simplify it.
Yeah.
Just do a very simple thing, make it.
Wow.
A lot of military people know about this, they do it. So you start the day, make your bed, and you've done something, you've accomplished something. So you start your day on a high.
And that tick just
Yeah.
pushes you into the rest of the day.
Because that's how wins work. Wins have compounding interest. You have a small win. Doesn't matter the size of the win.
Yeah.
The win's a win. You win one thing and then it gives you the boost to win the next, the next, and the next. You keep winning. Because losing does what?
It compounds as well.
Yeah.
So you lose one, you keep losing. You know, I always said it even on this podcast that sometimes because I don't make my bed first thing in the morning, I'm terrible at that. Maybe I should imbibe that. And then I think I like that I leave my bed scattered. And I think I should start dealing with that. But you know how I wake up in the morning and I have a routine. My routine is first thing, I wake up in the morning and I boot.
Okay.
I boot for 30 minutes. I have tried not to boot and it's not working. I have just imbibed it. And then, but there's something I do not miss is taking a walk or a run. Every morning. And it has become a daily habit. And then I've come to realize that any day I do not walk or run, I have lost the entire day.
Exactly.
Yes, because I'm there thinking about I need to walk or run. I need to walk or run. I need to walk or run. Time is going. 1 hour, 2 hours. Oh, next thing I want to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And then next thing I'm sitting down in the couch.
A million and one things will come and try to take the place of that.
Yes.
It's always like that.
Oh my God.
And I tell people like my life is like an airport. It's only Nigerian airport.
Yeah.
The early flights are the most reliable ones. That's the thing. So if you're sure you want to get somewhere at a certain time, your best bet is getting the early flights.
Yeah.
Because one aircraft's small mistake will affect all the other.
Oh my God.
So delays and all that tend to happen in the later flights, afternoon flights, evening flights. So because I'm aware of that, I try to get all the really important things, like my wins, in the morning, at least first thing.
So what happens to the days where you don't feel like it? Okay. You wake up in the morning and, you know, there's just this day you just wake up in the morning, look at the ceiling and then just eye it and roll your eyes on the ceiling like, what are you doing here? How am I awake this morning? And you're just not feeling like you use yourself. How do you stay consistent?
So I have a couple of little tricks. I'm constantly finding tricks to override natural instincts.
Yeah.
And one of the natural instincts is actually not to be consistent with something that is unnatural.
Yeah.
The natural thing would be to stay in bed. Yeah. So when you have to get up and go for a walk or make your bed, those are unnatural things. So one of the things I like to do as a little trick is I like to pair this unnatural thing with something that I enjoy.
Oh, okay.
Because things that you enjoy, nobody really needs to tell you to do it. Like you said about Netflix, if it's going on social media, like that's the thing that you do, fine. Or even if you're a prayer warrior and singing praise worship is the thing that you do. So I'll link that with the thing. So if let's say I'm the prayer warrior now and singing praise worship is how I like to start my day, I'll do that when I'm making the bed.
Wow.
So I pair the two together. Or I do that while I'm doing some squats or sit-ups or push-ups. So if that's the thing I'm trying to incorporate into my lifestyle. So I do that. So that's one of the things that I do. I do pairings. I pair something I enjoy with something I'm trying to incorporate. Yeah. And then the other thing is awareness of human psychology. They say it takes about 21 days of constant work to build a habit. So I'm aware of that. I can just clock 21 days. It's difficult. I don't feel like it. I can just clock 21 days. I should have got myself into the place where it's
a momentum.
Thank you so much for that work. I should have built enough momentum to get this thing going. So that's
wow. That is very eye-opening, because honestly, now that you're saying it, I realize that I had tried it at some point, because but in my own case, it was two things that I feel guilty about. So like you talked about praying, so there is this prayer that I like to join every morning.
Okay.
And then most of the time it clashes with the time of my run, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to feel guilty that I didn't pray, and I didn't want to feel guilty that I didn't run. So I started doing both of them together. So I have my phone and I will pray while running or walking on the road.
Actually, a beautiful experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the end of the, I have prayed and I have run. So it's a win-win. So now that you're saying it, I think I like that idea of, marrying two things that you're struggling with, and then one helps.
Exactly.
Wow. That is incredible. Let me dive into your story a little bit. Okay. What was your turning point? Did you always know how to be consistent? What happened? What was that eureka or sad, or what was the turning point for you that made you say, you know what, I have to get this together and be consistent?
Right, because I'm going to talk about two things.
Yeah.
Structure and consistency. So they kind of go hand in hand. As a kid growing up, like much younger kid, like in my single digit years, my mom always had an issue with me because I didn't like to eat.
Okay.
You had to force me to eat.
Okay.
I was a nightmare.
Wow.
Like I would start breakfast, lunch come and meet me on the table. And I would start lunch, dinner come and meet me there.
Okay.
My mom was so strict, like, you're not leaving that table till you finish that food.
Wow.
I will now try to be scraping it. I try to go and give the dog, like, so that I just didn't like to eat until I got to boarding school.
Wow.
So GS1, I went to boarding school, and then there was now time for meals. I think that was one of it. The fact that there was a timetable, there's a specific time to eat, and there was way more activity.
Yeah.
We going to class, we go, we had this and all that. But all of a sudden, it wasn't a struggle to eat. I was looking forward to eating.
Yeah.
I was hungry now. So I came back from school not skinny.
Yeah.
I was okay. I was looking better. And I was like, but it didn't really dawn on me why. I just thought I'm in school now, maybe I was older and I have a better appetite.
Yeah.
But towards now SS3, our secondary school made all of us do citizenship training, which was we sent us to Mayo Okunnu.
Okay.
And that was like a military style kind of feel.
Oh wow.
You wake up even like 4 o'clock, it's in Jos, it's cold.
Oh my God.
Running, you're avoiding all the cow dung on the
Oh my
road.
God.
And they weighed all of us before when we got there, and they weighed all of us at the end. There was 100 and something students in my year. Every single person lost weight. I was the only one that put weight on. That's when I discovered that structure and timing works for me. It makes me
better, healthier.
Yeah. So I had that, I knew, but I still wasn't applying it until my fitness journey started.
Okay.
But I just knew that when I put a structure to something, when I allocated time for it, it suits my body responds positively to that.
Wow.
Some people might find it too regimented, but I know that's what works.
Honestly, when I always say to people, when people see me, like I have to-do list for every day. And I'm like, why do you plan your life like this detailed? And just like you said, it boils down to when I was living with my sister in Kano, and my sister puts 5 minutes for food.
Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Oh yes, even till now I eat very fast.
Wow.
So don't worry. Yeah, like I will go hanging out with friends. We are on a dinner table, and then you say Jack Robinson, my food is gone, and they're looking at me like it's been from childhood.
That was like shower time in my workout.
Honestly, so she will say 5 minutes because if you leave me on the table, I will be on that table, just like you said.
You'll be there, bro.
So she will give me 5 minutes. She'll give me 10 minutes to have my bath and prepare for school. She'll give me. So I had timing for everything. So every morning when I wake up, I had opening prayer time, shower time, prepare for school time, go eat time, and head out for school. And then by the time I get to school, I get back home, wash the plates, do this, prepare for the meal. But she has a portion time. Very, very like
Why
that.
she like that?
I don't know why she's like that. Maybe one of these days I'm going to actually sit her down. Why did you or did you just want to experiment with me? And then, because also I was the only little girl living in her house at the time. And you know that they say, now that I'm grown, I understand, because they say an idle man is a devil's workshop. So she wanted to occupy my every second with activities to make sure there's no devil's time.
Smart. Very smart.
That's what I think, but I still need to ask her.
That's what it is. That was smart.
Yeah, and that helped me a lot. And up till today, if I don't have an arranged timetable, everything has to follow through time. And guess what? It makes me even have more time to do many other things. Yeah. So, Mayo, you are in the fitness industry.
Yes, I am.
And this is one industry that a lot of people, in fact, it's an industry that a lot of people have issues with, right? Because they wake up in January 1st and they make a full New Year resolution.
Come more time.
And by the end of by maybe the 10th of January, it's gone, and it never comes back till like December when they're about to plan for a New Year's resolution. How do you stay disciplined?
There's something that I just recently started that I brought out of myself. So I usually have it all plans, all strategies that I push to clients or friends or whatever. I've usually practiced with myself.
Yeah.
I've tried to live by what I'm thinking or what I'm saying before I can feel comfortable to share it. So just very recently, like this last year, everybody's 2025 programs started in November 2024.
Wow.
I was like, why are we waiting for January to start now? I've always found this saying very, almost a little bit cringe. I don't hate to use the word cringe, but I found it odd. Like, remember we always say, like, for everything you want to say, the grace of God.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
of
just,
course it's by the grace of God, but why are we always saying that?
Yeah.
Until I was pointed to the actual Bible passage that stemmed from. And it was talking about like the arrogance that we have, just assuming that tomorrow is guaranteed. Like, how arrogant of you to just think that you even have the next hour. So I was like, wow, like it makes sense now why there are people that would never commit to anything
until
in the future without saying
by the grace of God. Yeah.
I know, and this is not just Christians, Muslims too, inshallah, and they will always say it. And I connected that to the power of now. It's like, because it came a time when I started as a businessman, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, where I started delaying the decision making a lot. Yeah. And that's a very dangerous place to be as an entrepreneur, yes. And so I was trying to break that mold, So I had to understand where I was stemming from first before I could. But one of the things that kept on coming up, some of my social media mentors, let me put it that way, because I've never actually met them, and they were talking about the power of now. It's like, you're arrogant in thinking that you could decide this thing tomorrow. And it's better for you to actually make a wrong decision than to make no decision. Yeah. Because you fail forward, everything that seems a bad decision, you get a lesson from it. So ultimately, you're blessed. As opposed to feeling like, oh, I made the wrong decision. I'm as the leader, I shouldn't make any. You will make decisions. Once you're aware of that, and once you're aware of the possibility of being arrogant by assuming that you have tomorrow to do this, it just keeps you committed to being consistent. I love what you said. You said the power of now. It is quite important because it's just like we keep saying on this channel, we keep saying, start now. Start now. Because whatever that thing is, we are using fitness because you are in the line of fitness. But it could be anything.
What are you waiting for? You said something profound. You said you guys started 2025
Yeah.
in November.
Yeah, totally.
And imagine, for instance, you trick your brain. And you know how you said you trick your brain, yeah? So you trick your brain and you said, instead of waiting for January, you started in November. Now, instead of making your New Year resolution, you had already resolved and gone ahead of the resolution. So in January, you're not starting, you're maintaining what you've already started. Oh my God.
Let me give you real time stats. I did this with 9 of my clients.
Oh my God.
Guess how many of them are still committed?
9 of them.
All right.
Oh my God.
There's no one else.
I am looking forward to doing this in something that I'm interested in, to be honest.
Time now to start.
Wow, I like that. I like that. One of the things you guys didn't know about Mayo is that Mayo is an MMA fighter. And Mayo, it takes a lot of energy, guts. I have that.
You have.
Into the MMA world. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of energy, a lot of perseverance, consistency to be an MMA champion. What was that thing? I don't think you woke up from secondary school saying, bingo, it's MMA I want to do, or it's fitness I want to do, or I want to be consistent. Because number one, you need to motivate people. You need to be motivated to motivate people, right? You can't preach what you don't live out. And every day, for instance, beyond the MMA, right? Let's even keep the MMA by the side, but in your gym, you have to wake up, you have to be the first person in the gym to receive people. So with the MMA, with your gym, how did we get here?
Okay, so I'll start with them because the MMA came first.
Okay.
Fitness followed. MMA was first. So people might not know, but I was the most unathletic kid.
No way.
I'll tell you.
I find it hard to
in
believe.
primary school, they would make me run with the girls, and the girls would still win.
Oh
I remember all
my
time
God, that is so insulting, even to me as a girl.
Sana, I remember all of you that passed me then. Let's run now. So that was me growing up. And I didn't particularly have a family that put any kind of value in sports and stuff like that. So even when I would be excited about I'm gonna play football, like what are you gonna play? That was I come from a very jesting kind of family. We always tease each other kind of thing. But as a kid, I don't think that was a really good thing for me because they really teased a lot of things out of me. So but I discovered my athleticism in college. I already left Nigeria then.
Yeah.
And I met this guy. He was a Nigerian guy, mixed race. He ended up being my first coach and my last boss before I started doing my own thing. I learned a lot from him. And he is the most consistent human being.
Wow.
He can tell you his weight to the point. Like, I weigh 77.8 kilograms today without going on a scale.
Oh no.
He knows everything. I can tell you, it's been, the last time we saw was 2014. And I can tell you what he's going to have tomorrow for lunch.
Is that consistent?
I bet you I will bet half of my bank account that he's still going to eat the same thing that he was eating the other day.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how, so I saw how well this worked and it made it seem normal. So hanging out with him was one of the best things for me. It was just getting to see how, and by the way, in Naira is a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's a millionaire in pounds.
Yeah.
He's young. He's in his early 40s. He looks incredible. He's everything. And so he first invited me. I saw he was doing something with me. He was like, why don't you come? And he invited me for a session. I had a session, my first session. And for the first time in my entire life, people told me I was good at something.
Oh my God.
It was so odd to me because they're like, hey, you have so much potential, like you're strong, you're fast like me. No, I mean, and just them being that invested in me
Yeah.
was all I needed.
Yeah.
So in fact, in the beginning I was doing it more for them than for myself.
Yeah.
Until it became about myself. Then I was like, you know what? I had the opportunity to compete, and I was like, I'm going to do this so I can tell my children in the future. The daddy had one fight to back in the day. That's what we wanted. And I had one, then two, then three, then four, then five, then six, then I ended up having 16. So I had
Yeah.
a very good career. Like I had an amateur, semi-pro, and professional career. 2 weight division champion, amateur, undefeated, semi-pro. I I did good. Like I did good. I did good, but along like you said,
Yeah.
it's grueling. The training for it, you have to put everything. You can't do it half-hearted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of us do a lot of stuff half-hearted.
Yeah.
If we're really honest with ourselves, we do a lot of things
Yeah.
half-heartedly.
Yeah.
And I try to do things. Imagine that there's no other option.
Yes.
There's no other choice.
Yeah.
It's the world of business and consistency and fitness. There's a duplicity to it that can get confusing. I understand because a lot of times you're hearing from one side, it's you, it's all on you. Then there's another side telling you you can't really do it by yourself.
Yes.
You need mentorship, you need anchors,
Yeah.
you need a support system. And I understand people get confused. Like, which one am I doing? Is it me? Is it us?
Or is it?
What is it? You know, but the truth is, it's all of it.
Yeah.
There are elements, there are components of the whole thing that have to come from you.
Yeah.
Because even if I'm anchored to you, like, oh my God, the one that will ginger me for this workout, but I still have to wake up.
Yes. Yes.
And I still have to be available for you. I still
Yes.
have to open the door, even if you come to my house.
Yes.
You know, so there's parts that I have
To play. Yeah.
And yeah, I woke up, I don't feel like it. But seeing you will now excite, like, do without bad, at least we'll do it together. So you need all of it. It's not one or the other.
You know, my mom, there's something she says in Igbo. It say onya nenyeni nebezitono. It means whoever the person who they are giving food would have to bring his mouth closer. So because what a lot of people wants to do is to just sit down and somebody will bring the food and put it and force your mouth to open and put it in your mouth and then help you chew it and even help you swallow it and digest it. And that doesn't work. You have to play your part. One of the things you said that landed very profoundly in my ears was that you had a why. Your why was you liked the way they were hailing you about it. A lot of people think that their why has to be this one gang thing. Do you understand? No, it could be as small as
vanity.
Yes. Do you understand? It could be the flimsiest thing anybody. So, like, honestly, this is one of the sweetest why I've heard in a while. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Just because it felt good. And then they were hailing you and you were excited and you wanted to do more so that they can hail you some more. And that's okay. That's a fantastic why. If that can be your why, because guess what? What will happen is that you will get better. You will get better. Yeah. And as you're getting better, it stops becoming about them. And starts becoming about you. And before you know it, where you would be, your mind could not have fathomed it. Wow.
Yeah. And I won't bring it to this fitness world. I tell my team all the time, I said, listen, don't discriminate against people. People come here for different reasons.
Yeah.
There'll be the group of friends that one has not married out of all our friends and she has come to look for husband.
Yeah.
First one, I want to say bigger, but all our friends genetically were gifted. She is not gifted. But the guy is looking for his wife. Whatever the reason is,
let them just
let them come.
The goal is one.
Exactly.
They will get healthier.
The wife can change. My wife, MMA, kept on changing. I kept doing interviews every time, before the fight. Oh, how did you get into MMA? Why do you do it? Why do you still do it? I told you I always wanted to do it just so I could say I've done one.
Yeah.
And I kept on because it kept changing. The why was changing. By the time I had my last fight, my last why was the honesty of the octagon.
Yeah.
Why I say honesty is you can't pretend. comprehend
In the
anything in
outcome,
there. If you haven't trained well, it
you
will
will show.
expose you.
Mm.
If you haven't been consistent, we will go celebrate.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that my coaches would say.
Mm.
My coach, when I first started, my coach would say 1 week. As I kept on developing as a fighter for myself, I started doing my entire camp. The moment I've taken the fight,
That's
from
it.
that point till the fight,
Celibacy.
that's nothing. No masturbation, no sex, nothing. I
Wow.
would even stop watching some of my favorite shows, like Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
all those ones that have all the spicy scenes.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Vampire Diaries, anything that has anything. I'm not watching in that period because I don't want to be distracted.
Mm.
I love bread. I'll give up bread. All those things just like
Oh my
intense
God.
focus. And because, like I said, that space where you are in there locked in combat with another person is the most honest space. So everything that you have done will be exposed there. Everything you have done and not done will
Wow.
be exposed there. It's like getting a dose of judgment
Yeah.
at your own
peril.
There's nothing else. Nothing else can give you that.
Mm.
There's nothing else.
Wow.
Like even the fitness thing, I can be in shape without. I can enhance. I can use steroids.
Yeah.
I can use, if I'm the biggest, and I can use GLP-1, all the Wegovy, all the more popular one everybody uses. I can do all those things to fool my audience.
Yeah.
But then you can't fool anybody.
Yeah.
If you have not trained,
it will show.
It will show. You will see it. So yeah, that was my last one.
Wow. Wow, that is incredible. I hear you loud and clear, and I hear you say your why can keep changing. I had my first why, and then why kept changing, and I had my last why. And that is to say to you, you want that. A lot of motivational speakers have said you must get your why, and you say you've not started because you've not gotten your why. And now it has become another thing we have to wait for. You have to wait to get your why. But guess what? Your why is just right there. It could just be because I want to get my why. Let me do it because I want to get my why. Yeah. That is a why, And wow, it's been incredible speaking with you, Mayo.
Thank you so much.
It's the minister of fitness. I wouldn't make that mistake again. It's Mayo. And it's been incredible. I've known Mayo since 2014.
2014.
Yeah. Wow.
14. Wow, 11 years now.
11 years. Right. Let's do this. 11 years of friendship. And then, the beautiful thing, we don't see every day, but when we see, it's like we haven't seen, And thank you for coming. Thank you for always being there. Mayo has been incredible. Don't worry, I'll give you guys gist next time. I can't thank him enough. He's been amazing, and I'm happy that he is here. Mayo, do you have one last word for the viewers?
I would just say, like we've said on the show already, the power of now is very important. Don't wait. Anchor your needs, the things that you have difficulty with. The people that you know are doing this thing better than you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Mentorship is super important. Remember, my name is Mayo. I am the Minister of Fitness for fitness in my business.
Thank you so much. It has been incredible talking about the power of consistency, how daily habit transforms your life and journey. It's been incredible speaking with Mayo, the Minister of Fitness. And of course, we look forward to him coming back again to talk to us about something else on this show. If you have been listening, tell me on the comment section, how has it been? What did you hear? What's your takeout today? And what are you going to do about that situation that is right there in your face? Until next time on Minding Your Tomorrow, I remain your girl, Chioma Ezani, and peace out.